Hello everyone, welcome to Dreams tutorial. Today we are going to have a look at the case study 2. Here is the case which says during Dasara holidays both Jyoti and Yogi came up with an idea of keeping a terrace garden at their home. They both bought some plants with pots. They want to place the pots in such a way that there are 2 pots in the first row, there are 4 pots in the second row, there are 6 pots in the third row, and so on. So now when you look at the number of pots that they are placing, okay, you can see 2 pots in the first row, 4 pots in the second row, 6 pots in the third row, and so on. What kind of sequence is this? Of course, you all would be able to identify that this is an arithmetic progression. In short, we can call it to be AP. Every next number in this particular AP is obtained by adding 2 to the previous number. So in this case, what is the value of A? A here is the first term, which is nothing but equal to 2. What about the value of the common difference? The common difference here is the number that is getting added every time, which is nothing but plus 2 in this case. I hope you all are clear with it. Now let's move forward. Let's try to solve few questions based on this case here. So here is your question number 1, which says what is the difference in number of pots increasing per row? Of course, the number of pots in the rows were 2, 4, 6 and so on. This was forming an AP. So what would be the difference? That is what is asked. So what would be the answer? We know the difference that they are talking about here is common difference, which is going to be nothing but A2, which is 4 minus A1, which is 2. So the common difference was already found by us to be 2. So this is the answer for this first question. Okay, so question number 2 here says what is the number of pots in the 10th row? That means we are asked to find the value of A10. How do we find it? We can use our nth term of the AP formula, right? Which is AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. So once you write the formula, you can easily find A10 to be equal to what? What is the value of A for the AP? It was 2, right? Plus N here is nothing but it is 10. So 10 minus 1. What about the value of D? We already found the value of D to be equal to 2. So you can substitute the values. When you simplify this is going to be 2 plus 9 into 2. Okay, this is nothing but 2 plus 9. 2's are 18. So 18 plus 2 here is 20. So A10 value is obtained to be 20. So this is the answer for this question. I hope we all are clear with it. So here is your question number 3, which says if they want to place 132 plants, how many rows are required is asked. That means we have to find the value of n. We are given the sum of plants to be equal to 132. That means Sn here is given to be 132. So how do we proceed in finding the value of n? We can use our Sn formula that we all know. Sn is equal to what? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So once you write the formula, you can see we can substitute the corresponding values. Sn is already known to us to be 132. This is going to be equal to n by 2 into what is the value of 2a? 2 into a value is 2 plus n minus 1 into d value is already known to us as 2. Of course, you can see inside the square brackets we have got 2 common in both the terms. You can take it out. So the next step is going to be 132 is equal to n by 2 into 2. The common factor is taken out. So what are we left with inside the bracket? We have 2 plus n minus 1 left inside the bracket. So further simplifying it, you can cancel out the 2 in the numerator and denominator. So the next step is going to be 132 is equal to, okay, n into 2 minus 1 here is 1 plus n. So of course you can take the n inside the bracket as well. So this is going to be equal to what? N plus n square. Okay, so what is the next step going to be? Okay, we have got 132 to be equal to n plus n square. So when simplified, we would be getting n square plus n minus 132 to be equal to 0. So look at this particular equation that we have got. What kind of equation is this? I'm sure you would all be able to identify this to be a quadratic equation. We all know how to solve a quadratic equation. We have to split the middle term, isn't it? So how do we split the middle term? First, you're going to find the value of product and sum. You can see product here is nothing but the constant term into coefficient of n square, which is minus 132. What about the sum? Sum here is nothing but coefficient of n, which is plus 1. Okay, you have to find two numbers in such a way that the product is minus 132 and sum is plus 1. So which two numbers can we choose? Of course, 11 into 12 is 132, but we want minus 132 in the product and sum should be plus 1. So of course we would have to place the minus for the negative smaller number, which is 11 here. So minus 11 and 12 would be the numbers that we are choosing. So once you're done writing this, what is the next step? So next step is going to be n square plus 12n minus 11n minus 132 is equal to 0. Okay, we have just split the middle term. So of course you can further simplify this. You can take out the n commonly from first two terms. So when taken out, we'll be having n plus 12. From the last two terms, we can take out minus 11 commonly. So we are left with n plus 12. Okay, this is going to be equal to 0. So what is the next step? Of course, you can see n plus 12 and n plus 12 is common. So when you take out n plus 12, so what are we left with? We are left with n minus 11. Okay, this is going to be equal to 0. So what is the value of n? N is either going to be equal to minus 12 or n is equal to 11. So which should be the answer? I'm sure we are talking about number of rows here. Okay, so can number of rows be negative? Of course it cannot be. So n is equal to minus 12 is not a possible answer. The right answer is n is equal to 11. That means they would have to place 132 plants in 11 rows. I hope we all are clear with it. Okay, so here is your question number 4 on the same case. How many pots in 15th row is asked? That means we are asked to find A15 value. How do we find it? We can use our nth term formula. An is going to be equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So once you write the formula, you can find A15 to be equal to what? Value of A is 2 plus n here is 15. So 15 minus 1 into D is already known to us as 2. Substitute that as well. So 2 plus 15 minus 1 is 14 into 2 is what we have. When simplified, this is going to be 2 plus 14 2's are 28. So 28 plus 2 is here is nothing but 30. So this is the value of A15. That means there are 30 plants in the 15th row. I hope we all are clear with it. Here is your question number 5. Difference between pots in 5th row and 10th row is asked. So how do we find it? First we would have to find the number of pots in the 10th row. Then we would have to find number of pots in the 5th row. So that would help us in finding the difference between number of pots in the 10th row and 5th row, isn't it? So first, how do we find the number of pots in the 10th row? We would have to use our nth term of the AP formula, which is An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. We already know the value of A and D in this case. A is equal to 2 and D is equal to 2. So we can write that as well. Now let's proceed in finding the value of A10. A10 would be equal to 2 plus 10 minus 1 into 2. So when simplified, this is going to be 2 plus 9 into 2, or we can say this to be 2 plus 18, or when simplified, this is going to be 20 in number. So A10 here is obtained to be 20. Similarly, you can find the value of A5. It is going to be 2 plus 5 minus 1 into 2, or we can write this to be 2 plus 4 into 2, or when simplified, this is going to be 2 plus 4 2's are 8. So 8 plus 2 here is nothing but 10. So we found the value of A10 to be 20 and A5 to be 10. So once you are done finding this, now it is easy for us to find the difference between the number of pots in the 10th row and 5th row. It is going to be equal to what? 20 minus 10. When found, the difference is nothing but 10. So I hope you all are clear with this. So this is the answer for this question. Okay, so that's all for today's video. Make sure you like the video and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to the Dreams Tutorial channel. So I hope to meet you all in the next video. Until then, bye bye.